My name's Nevada Conley, and I am the LSS ambassador for the state of Nevada. And today we are talking all things Ron with our lovely Amy. She's amazing. She's doing all Ron right now. I'm gonna let her explain, but she's actually dual commissioned as well. So Amy, thank you so much for joining us today. Can you give us a little bit of insight into, your notary journey and how you got started?
Yes. Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. I started in this group I think in 2023, end of November. That's when I started applying for the notary. And 3 months later, I got my notary. So my notary journey actually started officially in January 2024. And like everyone else, I took the LSS course, which is very, very helpful. So if you have not read already, I strongly recommend you get that course. And after that, I started to get into the in-person notary signing and the remote online notary. So last year, I believe it's April. That's the first time I joined the like a Las Vegas notary meetup from LSS. That's when that first time I met Nevada. And that's when the first time she told me that there is something called a remote online notary. I got extremely fascinated, so started exploring. Back then, I was still climbing the corporate ladders, so I do notary as a part-time. In the beginning, I remember there was like every month I make $200, $300, $500, that sort of thing. So until this year, February, I start to realize that I really like remote online notary. So I started pivoting to only do remote online notary. So I think last in May, I got laid off by my current job, by my previous job. So in May, I was able to, I got laid off, but my notary income in May was 75% of my paycheck that month. And in June, my remote online notary that month, no, actually, that's my entire notary, become 100% of my paycheck of the job. So I was very fortunate that you have a backup. I had a backup plan using notary. So last month, my notary income, actually just income, not revenue, income, become 120% of my corporate job notary paycheck. So I am very excited that I am going to, hopefully, knock on the wood, that I'm going to reach 10K very, very soon. So that's my notary journey. So regarding the remote online notary journey, I started to do remote online notary. I decided that I wanted to do remote online notary about in February. That's when I did another course. And I wanted to learn what is only to do remote online notary, because there are so many things in my life. I just want to focus on one thing. I just need to do one thing well. And because I'm a one-man shop. So in June, my entire 99% of my income, of my notary income, comes from remote online notary. In July, it is 100%. And in August so far, I haven't done any remote online notary. Only nothing in person. So I'm also in dual notary, Nevada and Montana. So far, I think I did over 600 notary for remote, about 600, 700. Every day I do about every day I do about five orders, 5 closings every day, no less than. Usually it's about 8. And maximum I did 14. That was hell. And so it's like so I'm on the field every day. So people ask me any questions about remote online notary. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, really quick, Amy, so did you have any sort of like learning curve in your early days of the run? What were your learning curves
Yes.
like?
Yes, I actually had to do remote online notary twice, get certified twice because I in Montana I have to do it twice. So I don't quite remember in Nevada, but I had to do it everything twice. So that's quite I remember what happened. First, you get very painful of those proof.com course. It's very long. It makes you very impatient.
Mhm.
But after you doing so many signings later, a few hundred signings later back, you look back all your learnings at the beginning. I wanted to say proof.com's education is actually the best. Be patient.
Proof.com. Right.
Proof.com's education, because Blue Notary, I use 3 different platforms. Blue Notary, we can get into that. Proof, Blue Notary and Pactima, they don't have as systematic education as Proof.com has. And they just give you exemplar and you become like a certified and you can just apply to Nevada, to your state. But in the beginning, you wanted to know how to navigate that platform. And once you learn from Proof.com, they also have very good fraud prevention method. That's what you do not learn from other platforms. I guarantee you. I don't know many, but I don't think it's as good as proof.com. Learn that because it's very important. Because we notaries carry a lot of liabilities. So you need to learn that in the beginning, how to prevent fraud, how to navigate between hotkeys. Because when you tag docs, those proof.com will tell you how to use hotkeys to tag your document. It is so
Hotkeys are
hotkeys.
like shortcuts, right? They're like a
Yes,
shortcut, like
yes,
you only have to click
shortcuts.
a letter. Yeah.
Yes, not many platforms has it, but every platform will have differences. But learn from the proof.com. It is the education is probably a little bit strict, but you know that you want to send your kids to your most strict schools, right? Because you get the very best educations first. So be patient with that learning curve. It's okay, and be patient with those
So you're saying take the time to do the proof
yes, give
academy
yourself
because
some
it's
time.
worth
Do not get impatient with yourself.
it.
And
Yeah, yeah.
you will learn something about people because you will sometimes you are just like a technology support and write down your common questions and the common solvings and just send it them because eventually there are no more than 10 questions people are going to ask you all the time. Just write those down and copy and paste.
Mhm. Perfect, perfect. Okay, so can you paint us a picture then of like your typical setup? Like, do you have a specific like computer? Do you have a microphone? Like, what is it that you rely on to do a smooth Ron closing?
First, I have because I work at 2 different time zones. I actually have a little bit different clock. Those old school $3 clock that
Mm-hmm.
from Walmart. One is Pacific Standard Time, one is Mountain Standard Time. I also have an Eastern Standard Time. Just put it together so I look at it so I don't get brain fog.
Mm-hmm.
And second, I don't think unless your computer is very old, I think common computers are good enough for wrong.
Mhm.
You as a business starter, do not buy new equipment simply because you're starting wrong. I would suggest you make some money if you really want to have a new computer. Make some money and roll it back into the business rather than start with beginning, spend $1,000 on a new computer. And third, a very reliable internet. And for my house internet usually is enough, but I also have unlimited data for my phone in case the internet goes wrong. And for my volume, because I travel with Remote Online Notary, so I also bought Starlink on my
Mm.
car. So whenever I travel, go to the national park, and I can still do signings there. So that is
Awesome.
my doing. So right now I'm sitting outside on in a farm. I'm using the Starlink to talk to you guys.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's perfect.
But usually everything you need to do a Zoom meeting, like right now, is enough to do a remote online notary.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so then if something goes wrong mid-session, what is your go-to fix, or how do you help signers get through that?
There are two things of going something wrong because of whatever is happening. Because first is they cannot get into the session. So that's KBA's problem.
Mhm.
Usually there are other two ways. You have to be your technology support. I usually write down what would usually went wrong, because usually it is first they have a Safari issue, Chrome issue. They cannot turn on their camera. So you write down their answers, and I can share that document with you guys if you want later. What's the steps of turning on camera? What's the steps of turning on microphone for Safari and Chrome? And the second is that how do you upload your picture? Those are steps that that you have. But during the session, I think that is more professionalism for the notary, right? And because usually is either you have something wrong with your ID, but that's I suggest you check their ID. No, check their name along with the document before you even start. Okay, that's something I learned. Do not ask me how I learned. It is really bad experience. And because you don't want to stop the session in the middle of the day, in the middle of the session, and realize the names are wrong. And also during the session, in Montana, the practice is that the signer has to present you the ID. I know Nevada is not required. There are a few times that signers can just upload their ID's picture and didn't present it. So I learned that you have to tell your signer to bring your ID along with it to present it. So that is something, but unless you can do it smoothly, you can do it legitimately. Otherwise, don't process with the session, because eventually you are the person who carry the liability of selling a house.
So I will say, I'm just going to add to that because Montana, Nevada. I know Nevada's requirements are, they are different. I still, as a Nevada notary, every single time I would have them hold their ID up to the camera just for that same thing. Like it is, you are on the line. I want to see that hard ID. I want them to physically have it on them. I have them hold it up. I have them flip it over and show me the back. While they're holding it up, I have them say their name and their birth date. And so if they can say their name and their birth date without, like any hesitation. And so I know that Nevada doesn't necessarily require it, but I would say as a Nevada notary, I would still use those same practices because it is super important. Just like Amy said, it is your commission on the line. And it's, even though they're going through an ID verification as the notary, it's still up to you to make sure that you think they are who they say they are. So, yeah.
Yeah, I actually met someone who was trying to get a notary and done their ID picture. They can upload it. Being Blue Notary, you can just upload the ID picture, right? And they don't have the ID with them, so it cannot be processed. So I asked them, "Oh, when you prepare enough, do it again. I'm willing to do it again." It turns out that person is fraud. It did happen to me. So
That's
make
crazy.
sure you carry a lot of liabilities because you are the final line of selling a house, buying a house, that sort of thing. Just make sure, always keep that in mind. I think that's for every notary, but especially remote online notary.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so then can you walk us through, like, from start to finish, like how do you, when you first reach out to your signer, what does your process look like from, the very beginning of reaching out to them to kind of getting through the process to then the end of the signing?
Yes, I have a little bit checklist of everything every step of the signing I do. First, I would text or call them I just copy and paste, frankly speaking, because there are so many of them. So I just copy and paste and just change in time. And also I copy and paste names on the document to see whether they are correct. They have to make sure it is correct before I proceed. And then I schedule with their time. That's the first step. Second step is that I tell them what is wrong look like. I think this is one of the learnings I learned. In the beginning, I thought everybody knows what is remote online notary. It turns out almost nobody knows. So you have to tell them what is going to be look like. So I practiced for a while. So just one sentence pitch, what is wrong? It is like a combination of Zoom and DocuSign. You do a video call in front of me, but through a security link, and sign the document in front of me, and I notarize. Paint that picture with them, and then they will realize what is that. And then I have a little, introduction of what is wrong. Along with sending the link, I will send them over, tell them what it's like to be a wrong. What do you need? What do you expect? That sort of thing. Saves me so much time. And what was the question again?
No, you're good. So just your steps.
Steps. Okay, so that is a preparation. So when you prepare the signers, half of your job is actually done. The third tip is that you have to give them some sort of limitation that how long your session will last. That's actually a tip that I just learned after hundreds of signings. You tell them that the signing takes about 15 minutes. After the verification, you tell them it takes about 15 minutes. Otherwise, they were endlessly dragging it along. 15 minutes, they were not dragging it no more than 30 minutes, actually. So your session will stay within 30 minutes. And and also you will have a little script when you start the session, saying who you are, what your commission is, and ask them to present ID and what disclaimers, whether they consent to video record, and ask them whether they are willing to sign, because that's your last thing. You are the last defense. That's it. And then start signing. Guide them through. But always stop the signing if they are not willing to sign.
Yeah. And perfect. Okay. And so then when you get to
eventually at the end, tell them that they're gonna receive the document in the email. Yeah. Yes, Nevada.
Perfect. No, that's awesome. And then it kind of depends too on the platform, because I know some of the platforms, like on Proof, if I didn't, because you have to click on all of your buttons, right? As the notary, like you have to click on your stamp, you have to click on your, like when you pre-tag, and then when you're going through, you have to click on them to like make it appear, right?
Yes. Yes, you do. I actually, for Proof, I actually really like the hotkey X. The reason is that it gives you bulk tagging, including your tag, including your stamp. So you never miss the stamp on proof.com. Yes, remember that bulk tag is so useful. I like that feature.
That's awesome.
But in because I use Pactima and Blue Notary. Blue Notary does not have that bulk send. Pactima has it. So those bulk send will make sure you do not miss your stamp. In Pactima, I don't know. It gets too detailed. If you use Pactima, you can save the section, save it as a block. So whenever you notarize it, you just put that block in it, and you never miss your notarized stamp. That is so important. That finally, eventually, that's what we are here about. Put a stamp on.
Yeah, well, that was my next question, was because some platforms, like I know on Proof, if you have the stamp on there, but you haven't like clicked it, it won't let you complete the session, right?
That's right. Not every platform has it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's just a Proof thing.
So just to make sure you tag it right.
Yeah.
You tag it right, because otherwise you are the person eventually who has to be responsible for your stamp.
Perfect. Okay. And so then for signers who aren't super tech savvy, I know you've touched on this a little bit, but do you have, how do you help those people?
Okay, so make sure you do not set limitations for signers. Do not do not think, oh, they are old, they cannot do this alone. Make sure you encourage them to do this. First, I have signers who have over 80 years old, all by herself, do the verification without asking me. So do not give them signers limitations. Encourage them, saying that tell them what you need, tell them what they're gonna need, what they're gonna expect, and encourage them that you can do this. So this is gonna, if I know they sound like a little bit older, I would say, oh, this is a brand teaser. How you gonna like it?
Oh, that's good. I like that.
And yeah, and also you can be, when they are start to get it verified, I think emotional support is more like we have. Just call them, ask them whether you would like to stay on the line for them. And if they have any difficulties, call you anytime. Right now, I think I am very, very familiar with all the steps they are going to be in. And so I basically know every step of the way what it looks like. So I'll tell them what to do. Unless they have very difficult times of uploading the picture. Usually right now there's not much KBA situation. Well, except their own issue. Yeah, just to be the emotional support. Remember that and make it light.
Yeah, that's good advice. Try to keep it light. Okay, perfect. And so then I know every notary has, like one story where a Ron was super hard or everything that could go wrong went wrong. What was your most challenging Ron signing that you've had? And how did you go about handling?
I think the mentality is when the hard signings coming along is when they really, whether they can really trust you, no matter signing service or the direct to customers. I had a few really difficult ones last 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. 4 hours. Yes, you heard that right.
That's a long time.
I know. It took me from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., but I get it done.
Oof.
So I think that is very difficult times, but during difficult dumpster signings, that's when you earn your trust. You will have those signings that will last 5 minutes. You will have those signings for last a few hours. It doesn't matter. The most important matter is you have to protect your reputation as valuable as possible. So when someone give you a job, no matter what kind of cost, you have to get it done. That's the mentality. So remote online notary may suit someone, may not suit someone, but I love it. So this is something I wanted to do. So if there are some dumpster fire signings, you just have to do it. And also, do not argue or negotiate with whether it needs to be done with signing service. This is I learned from Nevada. If the signing service wants you to get it done, you get it done. Do not negotiate. Get it done. And even if it means you pay a little bit more platform fee, even if you use your a little bit extra time, you get it done. Otherwise, you will not get to repeat customers. So get it done. Protect your reputation like you depend on it because it's my livelihood.
Yeah, no, that is really good advice. As a signing service owner, if we have, even as a direct client, even if you're, whether it's direct or you're working with a signing service owner, if they've asked you to complete a signing and you can't get it done, you're putting it back on whoever gave you the signing to still get it done. So whether it's an EO or whether it's a signing service, they have to reach out to another notary and try again. Or, I mean, there are certain times where it just doesn't work. Like if they failed KBA more than twice and you have to wait 24 hours, be willing to wait 24 hours and say, I'm so sorry. This is, they failed KBA. That is kind of out of your hands. But if it's like a connectivity issue or whatever it is, you can come back and, like, let us know what's going on. And just say, I've asked them to try to find a new location because their signing location doesn't seem to have great internet. So really the biggest part of being a raw notary, I think is honestly trying to be resourceful. along with being, you know, a good notary, but being resourceful and trying to figure out what's not working so that you can't get it done, and then try to figure out what the problem is so that you can get it done. Because
Yeah.
either way, the client needs them to sign that document. So it's yeah, so that's very good. Very good advice.
And I used to do a signing for my direct client who is who cannot locate that signer because he refused to meet in person. So I did that. I tried very hard for them to close that deal, and the signer is super difficult. Kind of an ass, really seriously, and they are super worried about their confidentiality and privacy. So you will deal with those customers who refuse to reveal any their personal information with them. So prepare that to soothe their nerves about when they ask about privacy issues. How do you store your information and show your professionalism? I think that's important too. Make sure notary are comfortable with you, and because of the signing, the loan officer send me a thank you gift. So that cement my relationship with title officer. Yeah. So when it is difficult things happening, this is actually your chance to shine. I look at that way.
Yeah, because if you have a
It's
difficult
difficult for
signing and
you.
you, yeah, if you had
It
a
is
difficult
difficult
signing
for
and you
you.
still got it done, that's huge.
It is difficult for you. It's gonna be difficult for others. But if you can conquer the difficulties, you gonna go ahead.
Yeah. And wouldn't you say with all the difficult ones, you've learned something new every time?
Yes. Make me so I created a little system saying all those difficult things I can prevent it happen before it happens. So for example, so if you are dual language notaries, you have an advantage. I speak Chinese. So I have those speak Chinese speaking specific signers. I started a little note telling them what to do before we start the signing. So please start recording those things, little things. It will help you along the way. And record those little lessons and summarize it. It will save you so much time along the way. So so along the way, in nowadays, later on, fast and so efficient. For example, yesterday in 3 hours, I did 5 signings. But that's the only hours I worked, and I went on fun, have some fun. Yeah, you
That's
just arrange those things all together.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so then how do you, is there any advice you can give on staying compliant with like state laws for Ron, especially since you're in two different states?
I think you really have to visit your state laws as often as possible. Um, keep I I I I learned notary classes a few times repetitively because I have to make sure I'm compliant. And in Nevada is the same. I learned, I think, twice. I always go back to the course if I have any questions and Google the Secretary of State, not some randomly AI stuff, because they are missing informations there. And in Montana, um, I learned the course once online and once in person. So I also have those kind of people who I can talk to and check out. Actually, when time's in doubt, if you get an order from your signing service, call your signing service owner and ask them whether I can do this. They are a great resource. When in doubt. Yeah.
Always. Yeah. No signing
Yeah.
service is ever going to be mad if you call and ask a question.
Yes, do not be afraid to ask questions because they know that you are paying attention.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, perfect. So Ron isn't always just about notarizing, right? It's also your business. And for you, it's, you know, Ron is your full-time business. So how are you going about finding clients, Ron clients?
Right now I'm a little bit ashamed to say I'm not as perfect as marketing. So right now my 10%, about 10% of my income comes from direct. So I am ashamed to say, but how I first is the farming mindset. I tell because I moved back and forth from Nevada and Montana, so it's my farming mindset. I'm still farming stage, and also not every title company has a lot of remote online notary. Frankly speaking, so farming is tell everybody you are remote online notary. That's the thing I do. And because it's remote online notary, it's not limited to loan signings. You can actually market it to the lawyers. You can also market. There are two types of lawyers that is really good on wrong. First is estate planning. Second is family law. And there are a third type of remote online notary that will be very good for you is that construction business in Michigan, Ohio, and Florida, because they will need a letter of commencement notarized online by their customers.
That's a
And
good tip.
you can also is besides on top of besides notaries can refer businesses to each other. You can also talk to those apostille agents.
Mm-hmm.
Those apostille agent will need something. Sometimes they are not in Nevada. They will need someone to notarize it remotely for them. That's another side of business as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I am going to do, actually, that's my next stage. Starting on Monday, I'm going to start a very big, massive campaign toward only, estate planning lawyers and the family lawyers.
Mhm.
Just remember, not many people know about remote online notary. There is an education phase. And what I learned is that my one sentence pitch about remote online notary is actually about what is remote online notary. My one sentence pitch is that I can help people notarize their document no matter where they are in the world on their smartphone. That's my remote online notary pitch. I say it again. Hopefully you guys can utilize it. I help people notarize their document no matter where they are in the world on their smartphone.
Yeah, that's perfect. Because
And then
that's
you
it's a
give
hundred
them
percent true.
some, and I can tell them that some crazy stories, crazy stories where they are the signers in the world. They can be in submarines, they can be in fishing vessel, they can be living on a boat for 5 years. And they can be 4 different cities and we sign at the same time.
As long as they have a good internet connection.
Yes, we have Starlink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. So I mean, that's a good, so, how do you explain the value of Ron to clients who don't understand it yet? I mean, I feel like that was a very good explanation of how you explain the value of a Ron, wouldn't you say?
Yes, I actually have a 2-minute remote online notary demo on my signature box. Everybody, as long as they see my email, they can click on it. They will know what it look like. People start looking at it, and it is a farming stage because remote online notary. But I'm a one-person shop. I'm already as busy as I am, so just get. I think consistency beats what's the word? Beats one time thing.
Mm-hmm.
So just be I will consistent marketing and get my business going. But that's that's
Mm-hmm.
where we
Yeah.
need
So
to be more.
you talked about you're in the farming stage. Somebody had asked on the chat what you mean by farming. So farming, I mean, just kind of in general, you just mean like you're planting seeds, right? Like everywhere
Yes.
you go, you're letting people know that you're a remote online notary. You just tell everybody because eventually they're going to need something notarized and they're going to be like, oh, wait, I talked to somebody who said they were a remote online notary and they could sign people all over the world. Let me try to find her. So that's what she means by farming, is just that she's planting seeds everywhere she goes so that eventually people are going to remember her and then that seed's going to grow, right? And that's going to be That's what she means by farming, is that she's planting seeds. She's telling everybody everywhere she goes that she's a remote online notary, so that you put it out there everywhere.
I also work with international real estate people. There is one of my clients who handles international Italy real estate that has people coming from US that need deals closed. So if you guys have that sort of connections, I think it's a great way to explore as well. Just, different people coming back and forth in and out of country, that sort of notarization and opposite.
Yeah, that's a huge pitch for real estate agents. Real estate agents have no idea. A lot of title companies have no idea that if they have signers that are not in the US, they think that they have to go to the US Embassy to get documents signed and notarized and then shipped home. If you tell real estate agents that you're an online notary and you can notarize for them, whether their clients are in the US or not, they're going to be like, minds are blown every time I say that. They're like, what? You can sign online? So it really is just, if you're an online notary, you do have to just pitch it to everybody. It doesn't just have to be escrow officers. It can be loan officers. It can be real estate agents, everybody. Just tell everybody that you're an online notary, because it still is so unknown to people.
Yeah, it is. It is so unknown, and I think this is definitely a blue ocean. As long as you go through the first stage of learning curve, your limit is there's no boundary, no limit. What's the word? There's no limit. Yeah. One of the reason I truly like Ron is because I truly see the value I bring to people. For those people who has to go to the embassy to get notarized, they have to book probably a few months in advance. Somebody missed their closing line, they have to get pay penalty for it. And they have to travel hundreds of miles away sometimes. And they pay enormous amount of money for a stamp. And not just the money, is time and the travel. And some people may not even be able to travel. So also some people are just on the ocean. They are not able to reach the dry land. So remote online notary is truly something brings value to people. So that's why I really like it. So a
Yeah.
little bit, glitch of system glitch and technology glitch on the way, it doesn't matter. You're running a business, you're gonna meet some glitch, some difficulties. At least you do not put hundreds of thousands of dollars on the line.
Yeah. Yeah. So is there anything that you wish you had known before you got started doing Ron's that you know now?
Tell people what is remote online notary is. Practice your one sentence pitch, repeated twice. Practice that one sentence pitch. Tell people what is remote online notary. They're gonna be mind blowing.
Yeah, that's good. That's good advice. So,
Yeah.
so again, I mean, for these notaries who are new and haven't done a Ron yet, what would be, your one piece of advice for them stepping into the Ron world, whether it's like technology piece or marketing piece, what do you think your best piece of advice is for them?
Actually, overall, first, always learn. Always learn. I had, sorry, I know this is LSS. I went to LSS course. I got a course. I also went to the convention. It helped me establish the basic mentality, but I also learned learned the remote online notary course after I started to focus on remote. So I'm very thankful in the first year of my notary business. I did not take all those money out to spend on lifestyle. I rolled everything back in to learn. So I make some money, I get some equipment, I get some course, and I make more money. I rolled it in. So that's the first 12 months of my business. I'm still doing that. So learn is the best investment because the ignorance is very costly. And the second is for Ron specifically. Still, at the end of the day, you have to see whether you like it. It's not about the money at the end of the day. I think it's whether you like it, whether you enjoy doing it. I enjoy sitting here talking about it because I like it. I enjoy doing signings with signers because I like it. And I like doing it and I like bringing the value to people. That's why I do it.
Mhm.
Yeah. See, so test out whether you like it.
Yeah, that's good
Yeah.
advice.
Mm-hmm. And
Perfect.
also, I think you guys wanted to know the difference between platforms, right?
Yeah, I'm sure they'd love to know.
Yeah. So I wanted to elaborate on three different platforms. If Nevada, do I have time?
Yeah, we're good. Go ahead.
Okay. Because I think it's really, really important. In the beginning, I used the proof.com because it doesn't have monthly fees and it has very good education system. And also, first, it has no monthly fee. So I don't know how many rounds I'm gonna get. So I started with round. And also, it is very universally accepted at a reasonable price. So nowadays, if I look back, I tell new rounds, please start with proof.com because it will give you a solid base. And then I moved to
That part.
Notary because proof.com is the price varies, right? The price varies. So you do not know until end of the session how much you're gonna make. So I don't like that. So Blue Notary, and it's cheaper. So I know a lot of notaries start using it. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it's cheaper. So let's just say that.
Hmm.
And but it is the user face is not as friendly. So I have Pactima as well. It is very, very, very easy for signers. And I rarely have signers fail at the Pactima, even including KBA. Somehow they can just pass KBA on Pactima. So so that's why when signers, I feel like they are not technology savvy and the signing service or titles allow using Pactima, I will use Pactima. Pactima
Interesting.
is a $15 a session, a little bit more expensive on the higher lines. And but I think that's my last resort of using the platform for anything easier. You want to get it done quick in and out, that's Pactima.
Hmm.
Blue Notary is a little bit still a little bit painful, but since it's cheaper, so I was put it up with it. Oh, also, learn to be resourceful, especially during the session, because there is something I want to add. When sometimes they will have glitch, they cannot hear you or they cannot see you, but they got verified on the platform. Remember to call them or video chat with them and do it online. Just like that. They are here, but you can record it through the platform. I don't know whether everybody knows it. Should everybody knows it? So let's say I'm seeing you, you are not able to talk to me, or the video, the camera is not working, but you have, but he got verified and everything. So you just video call them and record it on the platform. So eventually the video will still go through.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that's actually it's compliant. They
Hmm.
should be flexible. At the end of the day, tools are just the tools for platform. Just choose the right tool for your notary signing.
Hmm. And I would also say it's super helpful if you have two platforms, because if something's not working on one platform, you can say, let me see if we can use this other platform. Give me just like 15 minutes. I'm going to get everything uploaded to the other platform and let's try that before we say we can't do it. So having a backup platform is always helpful as well. It just gives you another option to be able to complete the signing for that client. In your opinion, where do you see Ron going in the next few years? Do you think it's going to continue to grow, or do you think it's going to go away? What do you think?
I am all in. Let's just say
Yeah.
that remote online notary is not going anywhere. It's actually going to be better and better. That's what I think the industry is going to be. So I'm staying in for the long term.
Mhm.
I strongly
Yeah,
recommend
same. I
people
think
to take a look. And
yeah.
you're gonna quickly broaden your horizon into a global vision.
Yeah, no, I think Ron is only gonna grow from here. I mean, personally, my signing service, 25% of my business is Ron. And that's, I mean, that's really huge for a signing service, to be honest. Not many signing services offer Ron. And so for 25% of my business to be Ron, and that's only growing. I mean, there are days that I have like 75% of my signings are Ron and on that single day. So it's, I mean, it's only going to get bigger, especially as a lot of like recording offices. I talk to people in other states or other towns and they're like, our recording office won't accept a Ron. So as it becomes more known and more popular, I think it's only going to get, that business is only going to get bigger and bigger. So if you're not a Ron notary yet, I would definitely say get on board now because it's still in the early stages and it is only going to get bigger from here. So
It is a
yeah,
blue ocean.
it
It's a
is
blue
blue ocean.
ocean.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it is an ocean full of opportunity for sure. So let's go ahead and open up for questions. Does anybody have any questions for Amy?
To start their own, I did sign up for the blue notary course. I don't know, too many videos. I didn't know how to start, and I just have the certificate, and I don't know what to do with that. And now when I see you, it's just give me inspiration. Because as a single mom, it's easy for me to navigate with the time. So that's very important to me. But I didn't know how to start, which course to take to start Ron and to be specialized in Ron online. Because I do have friends that work with people from my nationality, and they do need loan signing to do everything online. And I'm like, I don't know this yet. Let me learn. Let me be
If
specialized.
if you already have the wrong certificate
Yeah.
for state, you can just start.
But I don't know how to use the which platform, how to use, how to
Start
use
with
it.
proof. Start with proof. Period.
Proof. Okay.
But
Okay.
proof has its own, like you have to go through the Proof Academy
Okay.
before they even allow you to use the platform. So once you
Yeah.
get through that Proof Academy, you will know how to use their platform very well.
Oh,
It's
perfect.
Yeah, so that's good advice. Start with proof.com because then you have to go through that academy. It's going to teach you how to use their platform, what buttons to click, what to do. So for sure, just start with proof and do that first.
Okay, so that's the first step. If I want to become online Ron, I just start with
Uh,
proof.com.
yes.
Because there's
Practice.
no actual training. As long as the state has given you the okay to do Ron, so as long as you've taken the Nevada state course
Yes.
and you've taken the test, and then if you go to proof, they'll do the exemplar for you. So you'll have the exemplar through proof. So if you get onto Proof's website and you start signing up with them and you do all of their steps, you'll be set to go. And you honestly don't need anything past that just to get yourself started.
Oh, perfect. So basically, how do you reach customer? Like you're the one that marketing yourself and then you invite them to the website to do online notarization?
Yes. I don't do those on demand anymore. I used to do it, but I think it's a waste of time.
Okay.
So,
Because you have
with
to sit in
all
the computer and
respect,
just
I
wait.
respect my time. I
Yeah.
respect everybody's time. Please don't just rely on demand and click there for nothing, almost nothing, for peanuts. So,
And
so bring your own customers. That's my advice. Don't do the
okay.
demand. Yeah.
And what if a customer like in any other signing has a question in regard the signing or there is something wrong and we need to reach the loan officer. This is something you do also online or he called the loan officer.
I
How?
think I think the method doesn't matter. The result matters. No matter whether you call or email or whatever, if you need answer, call signing service first. If not, call if signing service is not available, may if they have the escrow officers contact, call them. At the end of the day, The result matters, means the signing need to go smooth. The deal has to close. So do whatever you can to make that deal close.
Okay, but if the borrower, he has a question and he can't reach the loan officer, so we can't continue with signing because let's
Then,
say,
and you don't continue. If he is not comfortable continue, then you don't continue. You can only answer where is the information
yes,
and what is the information, not why is there the information and how is that.
yeah. So,
And that
but
tell your signers.
so my question is, okay, so the borrower, the buyer is the one that contact the loan officer, or we are the one that's okay, calling the loan officer online and say, okay, the borrower has some question in regard the loan
It's very
document.
similar. It's very similar. It's the exact same as if you had an in-person signing. If the
Yeah.
signer has questions, you as the notary need to either say, well, do you want to contact your loan officer to ask those questions? Or I can call who gave me the signing, whether it's an EO or a signing service. So it's the same thing if you're doing an in-person signing.
Yeah.
If there's questions as the notary, you can ask them if they have a contact they can call to answer that question, or if you need to reach out to either the signing service or the escrow officer to answer those questions. So that's all the same. You can still get on the phone and call whoever.
Okay, it doesn't matter if me
Or
or
you can
the borrower. Okay. And what do you mean by saying EO? I did.
escrow officer.
Escrow
Escrow
office.
officer. Okay, sorry. I just passed the test I just got my certificate for the LSS signing agent, and now I need to do the
What
NMS.
kind of
So I'm
language do you speak?
still new.
What
Yeah,
kind of
that's okay.
language do you
I
speak?
speak Hebrew.
Tell every escrow officer you met saying you speak Hebrew.
Yeah,
That's
I
your
have.
step into the door.
I did. I have a real estate agent. He's a good friend of mine, and he said, Corinne, just learn, finish your signing agent. I'm gonna meet you with a escrow officer, and he has a lot of customer from Israel investing in Nevada, so he needs a raw notary. I'm like, okay, let me learn everything and do everything, but I really want to be educated about and be expert because expert and knowledge will give the confidence.
Doesn't matter. Do some mock signings. Be confident. Do mock signings. Seriously, do some mock signings with somebody. Yeah, and you will get hand of it.
How do I do mock signing with someone? How do I get someone
Yeah,
to?
maybe you even have to pay some money, but
I don't mind, but I need someone, yeah, to
create
find.
some fake link with your signers, with your
Yeah,
friend,
just
and
use
practice it.
you can just even use like your spouse and just have your spouse be the signer or a friend be the signer, and you go in and create your own, upload a couple of random documents. So you just
How
create
do I
like
get
your
those
own,
documents?
just on proof doc. Like once you get through proof,
Oh, okay, all
you
right.
use proof and you're the
Yeah.
notary, and then you send a link to somebody who's pretending to be the signer, and then that's how, just like if you were to sit down with somebody in person and pretend to do a mock signing, it's the same
Okay,
thing.
yeah, I wanted to see some example of loan signing, reverse mortgage, everything in Nevada.
Well, yeah, it doesn't. You're probably, as a Nevada notary, if you're marketing to Nevada people, you're probably not going to do a lot of loan signings. Ron's in Nevada are a lot of seller packages and deeds and like single affidavits. We rarely do loan signings because not a lot of the lenders in Nevada are on board
That's right.
with Ron yet. You might get some.
Remote online notary really shines if in real estate closings is seller package, cash buyout.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
But
like
if you can do that all to you, it's
Mhm.
already more than you can handle.
Mhm. Yeah,
Okay.
so there's not going to be many loan signings if you're marketing in Nevada, just so you're aware. It's going to be seller signings, spousal deeds, affidavits, that kind of
Okay.
thing. The loan
Yeah.
signings is not big here in Nevada. But okay, so Eleanor, you have your hand raised. You want to unmute yourself? What's your question?
Eleanor, hi. Long
Hi.
time.
How are you?
Good, good.
I have a few questions and then a couple of statements. So, first of all, Corinne, just so you know, you don't want to be afraid of it because I was afraid of it and I sat on it for a year, hemming and hawing about it until Heather got tired of me hemming and hawing about it. And she made me do a practice session with her. And the minute I did a practice session doing the Ron, it was like, give me all the Rons. Don't send me nothing else. So you're already on Blue Notary. Yeah, none of us really care for Blue Notary, but they do have a practice session. And you can just, when you go to proof, just click on the part where it says become a notary, and then it'll walk you through the steps. You can even contact their support and say, hey, I need help, guide me, and then they'll guide you to the course. So it's not, just go to the website. It's easy. My
Use the support. Yes.
yeah. And when in doubt, go to support for anything. And you can
Okay.
even go to YouTube. YouTube is like free. So before you go spend any more money, you've already passed the course for the state of Nevada. You've already paid your fees. You have sent in that exemplar. Go look YouTube Blue Notary. Go look at YouTube Proof. Go look at YouTube Pactima, and you'll see that information. And then you might find when you're in the platforms like where Nevada is, signing service, Nevada sends me Ron's, or Notary Dash and the other ones. I had a signing service reach out to me and they asked me to sign up on Pactima. So now I'm on Pactima. So you never know where it's going to come from. And like Nevada said, here in Nevada, it's not real. It's exactly how she says. So it's either you get it that way. But my
Yeah.
question,
Eleanor, what platform do you use? Do you have any other?
I started with Blue Notary and I loathe it. So then I went to Proof because Francis Lynn and Nevada and Jessica were trying to send me stuff and they couldn't give it to me because I wasn't on Proof. And then I took the whole day. I took a whole Saturday and I just did it straight through the whole day. So I was done with it. So if you have a whole day where you can give to Proof to do the course, do it. Then, like I said, I had somebody reach out to me for Pactima. And honestly, I know you said earlier that Proof has the best training, but once you go through Proof, you really don't need to have another platform have that great training because that's a whole other day. And like you said, you're conscious of your time. Why would you want to waste your time, being taught how to do Ron multiple times? So, but yeah, so those are the three that I'm on. But my question is, oh, and there was one other thing about Pactima, because I called Nevada panicking because when I did my first one on Pactima, I had made a tiny error and I couldn't fix it the way I would have fixed it if I was on Proof. And so I found out that you have 36 hours on Pactima to go in to
Open amendment.
yes. And it does notify the client that you're correcting something, but it's on your stuff. It's if you made a mistake on the date or you didn't put your stamp in, it's for you, but you can't adjust the client's information.
Have you guys ever had it where like you've tried KBA on one platform, they failed twice, but then you can go to a different platform and then they pass KBA?
Yes. Many times.
Yeah.
Many
So
times.
even if they fail on Proof,
Pactima. They pass Pactima. They didn't pass on Proof. So they pass Pactima and let them move back to Proof and get it done. But that's like a few times before.
So wait, you just confused me. Did you just say, okay, so they didn't pass KBA on Proof and then you had them go do the KBA on Pactima and pass it, then you took them back to Proof and notarized the document? How do you prove that train of
Okay, so the second time they are on Proof, you just skip the flow. Skip the flow, mark them as personally no.
because they passed on Pactima?
Yes. And you have to check, of course, in Fidelity, they do not allow it. But in many other title offices, they allow it.
But doesn't that break the recording process if you go to the other? How does that work?
You just in the second proof recording, you just say, I know this person because I just checked his ID on what day, what time, on what platform. So in this transaction, I mark them personally no.
Because on Proof, nothing's getting recorded until they've already passed the ID verification anyway, right? Like the ID verification part doesn't get actually video recorded.
Yeah.
Right?
Not all title office allows, that's right. Not all title office will allow you to do this, but Pactima, some title office will allow you to do it. Do that, check with their regulations before you actually do it. But there is a way. At the end of the day, platforms are just tools. You use tools to get verify your signers. That's the ultimate goal.
And then basically the last thing, as far as signings blowing up in my face, I've had a couple where, like you said, there's elderly people, and sometimes as long as you're patient with them, even though they're getting frustrated and they're telling you how horrible the process is, this and that, they're okay. Other times you might have a seller who is not listening to a signer not listening to a word you're saying. I had a lady in England and I'm like, I don't think your Wi-Fi is good. You need better Wi-Fi. Or I'd say, okay, we'll do it this time. And then she would just totally show up at another way before the time. So, and finally it took 3 tries to get this woman signed, and she was signed. There's only been one time where I failed and did not follow through, and Nevada knows which one that one was, and it was a disgusting story. I'll spare you all. But yeah.
Yeah, just well, light things up. Tell them it's a brand teaser. Are you ready for some brand teaser? If you think there might be some issues.
Yeah, but the bad are far and few in between.
Yeah, well, sometimes you are going to meet those people when it is really out of your hand. It is out of your hand.
So thank you so much, Amy. This was amazing. Amy is in our LSS Facebook group. So is it okay if people reach out to you at a later point if they have any more questions for you, Amy?
Yes, absolutely. I would love to communicate, talk to everybody. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you very
Much.
Yeah, you are so welcome. Thank you,
Thank
Amy.
you.
We really
Thank
appreciate your
you.
time.
Thank you, Amy. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yes. Okay. Bye, guys. Have a good rest of your Saturday.
You too.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you.